we start?
Okay, sir.
Everyone can see the screen?
Yes, sir.
All right. So today, as I told you, we are going to talk about how to write a perfect CV. The perfect CV, yes, it would be your first impression. Why do I say it's a first impression? Because for any given vacancy, when you send a CV, that is the first thing that the person on the other side, the prospective employer or the recruiter would see. It's not going to be your face, it's going to be the CV that is like your messenger saying, okay, this is Malita, this is Gayashini, this is Sanju, this is Tharindi. So when that person sees, okay, in the pages, what you're going to offer to the company, they will choose you or not. That is basically a CV. CV is curriculum vitae, or some people say it's curriculum vitae. But then again, how you say it is not the problem, but what you put in it is the thing that is most important. There's curriculum, the CV or the curriculum vitae, there's biodata. Some people say it's a resume or resume, right? So there are different names to it, but everything, all of these things do the same thing. It represents yourself in a paper form. Okay. So what is this 250 I put on screen? Can anyone have a guess what is 250? Anyone? What is this 250? Talk to me. Can anyone guess what is 250? No? 250 is the average number of CVs that a recruiter or a particular company would receive when they advertise for a certain position. 250. So just imagine you would apply for some position, let's say a marketing executive or an intern position or a marketing manager position. When you apply, there would be on average another 249 people that would apply for that same position. So that's why they say on average there are about 250 applicants who apply for the same job. So how are you going to differentiate yourself, better yourself, and have a better CV that lands you that interview to go to the next step? It's not a CV straight to a job. Sometimes, yes, some people see the CV and they immediately select that person for the job. But usually, after the CV, it's the job interview phase. Then sometimes some jobs have what you call panel interviews, then another interview with the general manager or something. That's when they finally do the hiring decision. And then again, first thing is the CV, then you move on to an interview. So how can you have a CV that gives you the chance to go to an interview rather than your CV ending up in the bin? If you have a rubbish CV, obviously your CV will end up in the rubbish bin. Okay, that is common sense. So let's look at, how can we create a CV that would, give you a better chance in going forward or getting that interview. So what are the things that should be in a proper CV? Okay, so there are certain things. First thing is you need to have contact details. Then you need to show how much of experience you have. Then what are your qualifications in terms of experience and, education. Nowadays, you have to add skills as well. Now, one thing I need to add here is when I'm giving this set of instructions today of what needs to be in the CV that would give you a better chance of getting a CV, this is based on today's context. Why I say this is based on today's context, this was different from, let's say, 5 years or 10 years back. 5-10 years back, they didn't, have this so-called, skills section there. Now you have it. And I can't speak for, what would happen in the next 5-10 years. That would change also. We might not even have a, what you call a CV. In the next 5-10 years, there might be a new technology that would, enable you to probably send a video clip of yourself saying, I am Achinta Jayasekar. I am applying for the head of marketing position at Edulink International Campus. These are my, education qualifications. These are my experiences. Don't know. There might be a certain new technology that would come in, because if you take 5-10 years back, we used to send out CVs or biodatas, as they were called back in the day, using, a folded mail. You would look at the newspaper to find out, what are the openings available. Then you would write your own CV on a physical paper. If the computer was there, you would type it down. Then you would physically send a mail to the prospective employer. But now, most of the time, you send an email out. So who knows, in 5-10 years, the whole thing might change. So what do you think might happen in 5-10 years time? How would you think it would change? What's in your head? What do you think will happen in the next 5-10 years? I want answers from you. Tharindi, Dayashini, Sanju, Malika, what do you think might happen in the next 5-10 years? How would you think, when you are applying for a job in the next 5 or 10 years, probably in, let's say, 2030, you're applying for a job. How would you think, how would you imagine you would apply for it? Talk to me. Malika? Malika? Sanju?
Yes, sir.
How do you think in 2030 you would be applying for a job? What changes do you think might happen?
Experience is good.
No, my
Join.
question is not, what would be in the CV. I'm asking, 5-10 years, let's say in 2010, or let's say 2000, year 2000, we sent out a mail, put the CV into an envelope, then we sent a physical mail to the employer. Now we are sending out emails to the company that we want to apply. I'm asking, in 2030, in 10 years time, 9 years actually, do you think we'll be still sending out emails? Gayashini, Tharindi, do you understand my question?
Yes, sir.
So what do you think, Gayashini? Do you think we'll be sending out emails with the CV? Or do you think we'll have something else, something new? Or, would we go back to having physical mail sent out? Come on, talk to me. Tharindi, what do you think? Tharindi, are you there?
Yes, sir. Sometime we will present our CV in the interview.
Can you elaborate more? How do you think we will be presenting?
We will use presentation.
Good, very good. Okay, so that might happen actually. Thinking about it, to be, to stand out. Okay, so last few months we were advertising for interns at Edulink. We were advertising for marketing executives at Edulink, right? So if we had a format where, we said, if we would have said, don't send us a physical CV, send us a job profile of yourself, something of video format, right? Because it's to do with marketing, right? We have to talk to people. So we would have hopefully we would have gotten set of small videos of maybe 3 minutes long where they talk about it. I am Achinta Jayasekar. I studied at Dharmapal Vidyalaya Pannipiti, and I'm, currently following the degree at so and so. For my degree, I need to do a internship. I thought Edulink is the greatest place to do this because of these things, right? So if that was sent out, if that was a thing, right, then it would have been very easy for myself to select who's the best person, because then I know who's very outgoing and forward. Because for marketing, I need a person who's willing to talk, with the customer, probably over the phone or probably face to face, and elaborate on our products that Edulink offer, right? So if that was the case, it would have been brilliant. So this thing might happen, or probably, I don't know, we still might send out emails with our CVs attached to it. But anyhow, currently, these are the things that usually we have to put into a CV to stand out, right? Contact details of us, the summary, the experience we have, the education, and the skills. But that is not all. We should have certain other things as well. Hobbies, organizations, volunteer work, and referees. Referees, I wouldn't say it's optional, but the other three here, hobbies, organizations, volunteer work, are probably optional now, because these things are slowly moving out of CVs, as CVs are now becoming shorter in length compared to, as I said, 5-10 years back. It's getting shorter, right? Now we are talking about one-page CVs, where people put everything together in a piece of paper that is just one A4 sheet of size. So getting all of your things in, and only getting the things that really matter is the real secret to success in a one-page CV. But then again, we'll look at certain CV templates at the end of, probably not today, but next day, how we can really go into those things. So I would like to talk about the first and the most important thing of a CV. One of the most important things is contact details. I personally have received certain CVs where someone has sent me a CV, yes, but there are no way that is mentioned in the CV how to contact a person. If you are going to send me a CV, I need to be able to contact you back, right? Preferably over the phone, to talk to you and see whether you're the person that I'm looking for, or else to confirm an interview. Okay. So if you don't have the contact details, the main thing is having a phone number. The phone number, you can have your mobile number, because that is the main thing, or the main way that people communicate to each other these days. 5 years back, if you have a phone at home, you would put your home phone number. You can always use two numbers, one mobile number as well as your home phone number if you are at home. You don't want a prospective employer to call your home and then, listen to your mom going, "What do you call like that?" And you know how it goes, right? So that is something unnecessary for any employer to listen, and you might get scolded. You know how moms are when it comes to calls coming to the house, right? If you don't come to the phone immediately, they start yelling at you, and your prospective employer is going to get to know all your faults even before you speak one word with the recruiter. Then of course, nowadays, everyone pretty much has an email address. So put the email address also in the contact details. Earlier, we used to put, like in this CV here also, we used to put the whole address, of the person. Number 22A, Digana Road, Piliyandala, Sri Lanka, or all those, the whole address. But nowadays it is advised, because of this whole shrinking of the CV, it is advised only to put probably the main city. When I'm writing a CV nowadays, I only put Homagama or Homagama, Sri Lanka. If it's Sanju, where are you from? Sanju?
Yes, sir. Dal, sir.
You're from?
Dal.
Dal. Okay. So in your CV, you might not need to put the whole address. You only need to put Goal, Sri Lanka. Okay. Tharindu, where are you from?
Yatiyantota, sir.
Yatiyantota. Okay. So Yatiyantota or Yatiyantota, Sri Lanka. Nowadays, when you're writing a CV, you have these small icons also. It is also very eye-catching to see a small icon in the CV itself, rather than having the physical words, say address, phone number, all these things. So use icons as much as possible. Put in the Facebook link. It's optional, but then again, if I were you, I wouldn't go to the extent of putting a Facebook profile link into a CV, because we usually share our thoughts, our feelings, and everything that is personal to us on our Facebook page. But by all means, who has a LinkedIn here? Who has a LinkedIn profile? Who is on LinkedIn? Sanju, are you on LinkedIn? Gayashini, do you have a LinkedIn profile?
No, sir.
What about you, Tharindi?
No, sir.
Okay. So, Malita, do you have a CV? Sorry. All right. So I'm going to show you something that is quite important to you in terms of, can you see this now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this shows, the extent of having a LinkedIn profile linked to a CV. Okay. LinkedIn is something similar to Facebook, but then again, LinkedIn is used for professional interactions. Okay. It's more like the professional version of Facebook. So people tend to keep it clean. They don't usually share posts about politics. They don't, share, if the girlfriend is unhappy with you, you don't go and share posts about, all these, breaking up on LinkedIn. It's to do with your professional network. All right. So this is, a comparison of how important a LinkedIn link in a CV is, right? So if you can see, if you have a LinkedIn profile that is comprehensive, that means in LinkedIn you can fill, what you did, what are the things that you do in your current job, what you did in your previous job. In detail, you can list the work responsibilities and all these things. What's your position, everything. So if you have a comprehensive CV of, all the things with a nicely done profile picture, with a cover picture that relates to your uh, line of business or job, right? That is called a comprehensive CV. If you have a comprehensive CV, you have a 15.8% higher chance of getting a job in the entry level, just after A levels, or internship, first job, second job, you have a better chance. When it comes to the mid-level also, it is higher than not having a CV, LinkedIn profile, but then again, it has dropped a bit when it comes to mid-level positions, senior executive positions or mid-level management, assistant manager level. The importance of the LinkedIn profile has come down a bit, but then again, it is much higher than not having a link itself. When it comes to senior management, managers, senior managers, general managers, they usually don't look at the recruiters, they don't look at the LinkedIn profiles of a person like that. But then again, it is important that you show the world in a LinkedIn profile also what you have done in your previous workplaces. Okay. So if you have the time, by all means, go to LinkedIn and create a profile for you and start slowly adding details to your profile in LinkedIn. Have you ever heard about LinkedIn, or is it the first time that you're hearing about LinkedIn? Has no one heard about LinkedIn? So I shared on the chat the link to LinkedIn. So if you have time, go to LinkedIn and see how you can create your own profile and slowly update from, the first job itself, what you have done. Okay. So contact details, it's very important that you put the LinkedIn profile link here, because I have a small stat. CVs with a LinkedIn profile link get more interviews. That is a stat. But then again, only 48% of CVs have a LinkedIn link. All right. So you can be in that 48% if you put that LinkedIn link. Any questions about what needs to go into the contact details? No one asked how to put the name. Huh? These should be questions that you have. Why I'm saying this is, Sri Lankans usually have long names. Sanju, probably because he's from Galle, you might have a two-piece name. Am I correct? Sanju Jilsan, sometimes probably one more name.
Yes, sir.
What's your full name?
Sanju.
I didn't hear you. I didn't hear you, Sanju. What's the first part? Dashini, what's your full name?
Gayashini Madhushika Fonseca.
Tharindu, how about you?
Tharindu Darshima Ratnayaka.
All right. So if you are to put your name here, you can see my mouse pointer, right? Can you see the pointer?
Yes, sir.
All right. So if you are going to put a name here, best thing is to put like what Richard Anderson has put. A two-piece name. Don't try to put, if it's a three-piece name that is short, then it's okay. But then again, probably put your, what you call, first name and the surname. Gayashini Fonseca is good. Tharindu Darshima is good. Sanju Dilshan is good. Okay. No need to put Ahambulu Arachilage, Buddhika Kumar Padmisiri Dias. You don't need to put the whole full name here. Then of course, we have this thing called a professional title now, where you can, this is optional whether you put it or not. You can put the last position or the current position that you hold. Let's say you are at Manchi or Melbourne or CBL as an intern. You can say intern at CBL, or you can just say intern, right? Intern Richard Anderson or Richard Anderson intern or marketing intern. You can put that. That is up to you, right? Okay. So no questions with contact details. I'm moving forward. All right. The next thing is a summary, or we call it a strapline or profile, which is this part here. Richard Anderson is a very handsome man, as you can see, right? He has a profile here. Right? The profile is basically not your career ambition, right? It doesn't need, the CV does not need, in today's context, you don't need a, what you call a objective or career ambition. We used to have this back in the day. When I remember I wrote my first CV back in probably 2011. 2013, 2011, right? Even before I might have wrote a CV or not, but I remember specifically in 2011, I wrote my first CV. In that, I had a what you call a career objective to have a big position in a big company, blah, 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 all fluffy words that, I used to have the dream, right? But nowadays, you don't put your dreams in the CV. You put your what? Your current abilities, your skills, and something of a brief introduction about yourself in 2 or 3 words. I am a empowering leader or ambitious team player that has these skills, and I am good at digital marketing or something that is related to the job that you're applying for. Nowadays, it's something that I should have said earlier. I'll tell now. The CV that you write has to match the vacancy that you're trying to apply for. The CV should match the vacancy that you're trying to apply for. So this summary also needs to be, targeted for the vacancy that is open. Okay. Let's say you worked in marketing and there's an opening in a sales position that you want to apply. So when you write this strap line, you have to tweak it a bit so that it matches this sales vacancy. Right? How can you say it in a way what you did or what are the skills you have that you have developed over time by being in the marketing, but how it can help you with the sales position that is being offered. It has to change because the thing is this: you can't have one CV set up and apply for all 100 to 200 vacancies. No, it's not going to work like that. Earlier it worked, right? If you have a good CV, you send it out, then people might recruit you, right? But nowadays it's not the case. It has to be very specific and targeted. That's why I said, if you have 250 CVs coming in for one vacancy, you have to have the right CV so that you get the interview. Otherwise, you will end up in the bin. Okay. Any questions about the strapline or profile? Okay. All right. Okay, moving forward. So experience is one of the crucial aspects in the CV in today's context. Experience. Why experience is so important is because now employers or recruiters, they don't look at education qualifications that much. They don't look at what you call paper qualifications, right? Paper qualifications, they don't consider much. They look at, what Sanju has done in his previous employment, what Gayashini has done in the last 2 jobs, that will match what we want to do in this job position that is open. Okay. So now, how are we going to put the work experience into a paper format that gives us a good chance? Right? So first thing is, you need to have a job title. Okay. The job title. And before I forget, how you put your experiences in reverse chronological order. Reverse chronological order. What is reverse chronological order? It's very hard to say, but very easy to do. Reverse chronological order is on the reverse of how it actually happened. What that means is, if you had your first job in 2013 and you went up to 2015, then 15, 17 you had another job, then 17 to 21 you are doing your current job. So how you list it is, first on the top, work experience starts with the current job that you're doing from 2017 onwards to now. You put, the job title of that, then you have the company name where you worked, then from what period to what period. If you can put March 2017 to present, that is really good. But then again, if you don't want to put the month, you can always put 2017 to present. But it is preferable if you have exact months, right? Then whoever's recruiting you can see whether you had a gap in your employment or whether you've been hired by new people the other. All right. Then you can put a short statement, right, of what you did. But then again, this is not really important, but you have to put action verbs, what you did. Okay. Help with the marketing in daily tasks with calling out people, or did sales routine checks, or did these production whatever, right? All these things you can put in action verbs. Then nowadays we have this thing called a matrix or metrics. What is a matrix? It's how you can quantify what you did. There's something called a XY Z formula for putting a matrix. So how you do it is, this is very important. If you have piece of papers, probably write this down. The XYZ, sorry, not XYY. It should be XYZ. My mistake. Give me 2 seconds to rectify that. Otherwise, you will get a wrong impression. Right? Okay. It should be XYZ. Okay. So what is XYZ is very simple. So what you put is what you accomplished, right? Let's say you accomplished 20% increase, right? So how you put it is improving sales by 20%. This is X, what you accomplished, right? That is X. Improved sales by 20% by doing what? As measured by, right? So what you did, improved sales. Okay. This is X. Measured by what? I think measured is right here. Measured by, or you can say as measured by Y. Okay. What you did, accomplishment is X. Then how you measured it, right? That is Y. And then the Z part is by doing what? Okay. By doing what? That is Z. Okay. So how do you put X, Y, Z together is what you did. The accomplishment is X. So improved sales, what is the measurement? By 20%, or you can say improved sales by 2 folds, 3 folds, or how you can really measure it. By 20% by doing what? By what? Improving the social media platforms. I'm like taking examples from sales and marketing. Or you can say reduced defects by 50% by implementing work instructions. That is something into production. Okay, so it could be something to improve it or to decrease it, but the thing is it has to match what you want to do, right? Likewise, you can have certain measurements here that shows different metrics, right? I'll show you some examples of this. How I'm going to show you is I'll have to wait. I'll have to pause the share. All right. So can you see my CV? This is my CV, yeah? I made it specially for today's event, right? So here you can see I made it specially for today's event. Can you see?
Yes, sir, can see.
All right. So here I put certain metrics that I've done. Improved lead conversion rate by, this is the X. What is my accomplishment? Improved lead conversion rate. That is X, accomplishment. Then buy over 70%, which is the measurement as measured by, or Y. By doing what? By developing KPIs, performance-based incentive schemes, intake performance index for the marketing department, right? So you see, this is X. What is the accomplishment? As measured by here, that is Y. And by doing what? Which is Z. Then I have something here as well. Improved company social media platforms. That is X. By an average of 100,000, 160%, right? Which is the Y as measured by. Then by doing what? Which is the Z. By planning, creating and executing social media campaigns, lead generation campaigns, and monitoring the performance of them. That is the Z part of it. So you have the X, Y, Z formula. Right? That is how you put your work experience. If you have metrics, always better to put a metrics, because anyone can say, I improved the social media footprint. Anyone can say, I improved sales. Anyone can say, I improved lead conversion rates. Right? But now, how I differentiate myself from that person is, I have said, improved the lead conversion rate by 70% by doing X, Y, Z. I've done this. So it has improved the lead conversion rate by this much. I have specifically said, what's there. All right. Okay, I've gone back to the PowerPoint. You can see the PowerPoint, right? Hello. Are you guys sleeping?
No, sir.
No. Okay. I think Gayashini and Tharindu are sleeping. I can hear them snoring.
No, sir. No.
Okay. So X, Y, Z formula. All right. So I need for you to put a XYZ formula. Are you guys working somewhere at the moment? Tharindu, are you working?
No, sir.
No. Gayashini?
Yes, sir.
Sanju?
No, sir.
No. All right. So, okay. So you studied, right? Everyone was at school. So tell me in the XYZ formula, right? How you got your marks up, right? What is your accomplishment? I achieved da da da. By how much? It was, to a better grade, probably. I don't know, right? How you say it is up to you. Then how you improved it? By doing what? The Z, right? I want you to put a sentence. Gayashini, because you're working, you can say something related to your work, but Tharindi and Sanju can say something related to probably how you did A level. So how you studied, probably all else. I don't know. Right? Even if something is related to work or something that you want to do, you can put it there in the chat in a XYZ format. Right? Put it down. So this is how you have to do. Accomplishment X as measured by Y by doing what? Z. Okay. So let's see what you can come up with, because this is very important to put matrix in your CVs. So if you know how to do it, if you learn how to do it today, you will get a very good hang of it, and you can set yourselves apart from all the others, all the other 249 people who will be applying for that job. I'm waiting for someone to put something. Still, I didn't get anything. Come on, hurry up. Put something in. Come on. Tharindu, are you typing something?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm waiting for it. Gayashini, what about you?
I am making.
All right, good, good. How about you, Sanju? Did Sanju run away? Okay, I can give you guys 1 more minute because I have a lot to cover, right? Type in quickly. Thirty seconds more. Come on, someone put something. Ah, right. Okay. Improved my knowledge by an average of 80% by studying in campus. Very good. Right. Very good. Something from Gayashini. This follows the. Okay. So let's see. Accomplishment. What is the accomplishment? Improved my knowledge. Right. Okay. Very good. X is there. As measured by Y. So by an average of 80%. Okay. It's there. Y is there. How, what you call, practical it is, that is something of a different question, but by an average of 80%. So measured by is there. Then what did you do? By studying in campus, right? So whatever the steps you took is there also, right? So that is really good. Okay. Gayashini, Sanju, I can give you 5 more seconds and I have to move forward because otherwise, you'll be staying here till 10 or 11. All right. Improved sales. Okay. X is there. You might have to put by here to make the sentence better, but improved sales 10% by doing sales promotion to new customers in new area. That's also very good. Okay. So only thing I would change here is to make the grammar correct. I would put by or sales by 10% by doing sales. Right? Sanju, very good. Hey, Sanju, this is copying. You copied Tharindu and you changed school to, sorry, you changed campus to school. That is cheating. Okay. All right. Anyways, I appreciate the effort. So let's move forward. All right. Then the final thing is, when you put your experience, you have to show the relevance or you have to make it relevant. What is the difference between showing relevance or making it relevance is you have to show, okay, so let's say, for example, I'm trying to apply for a sales job. I am a marketing manager, right? So I have to show what is the relevance of, what I did in marketing that is going to be relevant in the sales context. How I did marketing in terms of improving social media platforms, how is it going to be relevant for sales? That's something need to be there. But then again, if it's not relevant that much, you have to show the relevance by making it relevant. You can make up certain things to show that what your experience on will help you do what you need to do in the future job. So this is why I said you have to write the CV one by one, because first you have to see the vacancy, job vacancy, and look at the things they expect that person to do in that role. Then you look at what you have done throughout your career, and then you try to match one to one. Okay. All right. So let's move forward. Next thing is education. Education comes after. Well, Tharindu, do you have a question? Tharindu? All right. So education comes after work experience if you have work experience. But if you don't have experience, obviously, education comes first. For people like Tharindu, Sanju, who haven't worked anywhere, education comes before work experience because work experience does not exist, right? So then you can show your O-level results, your A-level results. If you did, let's say, Dhampasal, all these things, you show these things. But as you go, as you go ahead in your career, right? Now that I am a head of marketing, if I apply for something else, I'm not going to put my Dhampasal, Avasana Vara Vibhage, I'm not going to put there. I'm not going to put my O-level results. I'm not going to put my A-level results, right? I'm going to only put my last or my most recent education qualifications, right? Here you can see your degree or major. That means, your degree, or then you can put your diploma, something that is most relevant to the job itself as well as most recent in your career. All right. So you don't extend that education column a lot if you have a lot of work experience or if the job you're applying for is a senior position. But then again, if it's an intern position or a very junior position, and if you don't have experience, by all means, expand the education part as much as possible to show that you are qualified for this job. Any questions here? Silence means no questions. I'm going to go forward. Then this part, skills and expertise, is something that has come in the recent past into a CV. I remember when I started writing my first CV, I did not write such a skills or a expertise column. Then again, back in the day when I just came out of university, I didn't have much skills anyways, right? So now we have this skills and expertise column where you can showcase some of the skills that you are good at. Then again, you should not put all the skills in the world in there, but then again, you need to at least put 4 or 5. If you look at the CV here, right? You can see some of the skills that I have. I've limited it to 30 or less, but then again, I have showcased some of the skills as a marketing manager or a head of marketing I possess As of now, I have negotiation, I have teamwork, I have data analytics, decision making, networking, emotional intelligence, research and strategy, influencing, presentation skills. I have a lot of soft skills as well as hard skills in terms of inbound and outbound marketing. I have good knowledge in MS Office, Google Tag Manager, analytical skills, lean, all these soft and hard skills I have listed down so that whoever sees my CV will know, all right, this person has a good variation of soft and hard skills that we are looking to have in the position that we are advertising for, right? So this skills part also, you need to look at the particular vacancy that is there so that you can match and take out certain things. Let's say, for example, I'm trying to apply for something out of sales and marketing into production, right? So if it's into production, I don't need to have what you call inbound and outbound marketing. I don't need, right? I will not need sales and marketing. I will not need probably research and strategy. I might not need, but data analytics and analytical skills, teamwork, because I'll be working with a team, I'll need those things. Then of course, I don't need email, SMS, WhatsApp marketing. I don't need Facebook ad, HubSpot, ManyChat. I don't need, but process improvement, lean, I will need. So I will keep those and take out the other parts that is not relevant. All right. Then of course we have this one, right? What do I mean by this one is, now we have come across something called, MS Office, right? There's a bar and they have filled it up to a certain extent. Then some people say negotiation, this much, right? Then analytical skills, this much, right? So this one, who's going to assess? It's your self-assessment, right? So it might not be very true that you put it like there. So what I would suggest is, if you're going to put an expertise column, try to put the name, right? Because there is no accurate measurement of, how can you say you're 60% good at teamwork and 40% you're weak at it there, right? So don't try to fill up bars or stars or anything. Just say you're good at training and development, project management, customer service, some things, that are relevant to the current job that you're trying to apply to. Okay. Right. Any questions of this part? I'm asking every part by part whether you have questions. You're not saying any questions. So we'll see. Yeah. At the end, when I ask you to write a CV, then you can't have questions. Huh? All right. So next part is hobbies and skills. Hobbies and interests, sorry. Right. So this is also, this was there earlier, but it has become a bit more important now. But then again, this is an optional thing, right? As you can see here, right? Now people try to put, certain, what you call, interest in this format. They try to put pictures. Why they try to put pictures is, it's to differentiate those, certain activities from words to pictures. So it's a bit different. Otherwise, the whole CV will be a whole set of words only. When you have certain pictures, when the pictures are there, it makes a bit of a nice impression there. But then again, people still have interest written down as well, like here. But then again, it's not a huge thing. But the only thing is, you have to be mindful of how long the CV is and whether you really need a interest or hobbies portion in your CV, because this is, as I said, an optional part in the CV nowadays. If you're applying for a very senior position, obviously, no one's going to bother. Let's say you're applying for the general manager of Edulink International Campus, right? Is baking being an interest going to help you? Or whether you hike, does it make a difference? Right? Whether you have furniture restoration skills or that is an interest, does it make a difference if you are applying for a general management position, general manager's position? No, right? So try to have it if it's only important or if it will add value. Let's say you are applying for a journalist position, right? So having your own blog, right? If you have what you call photography skills or photography interest and videography interest, obviously that's going to aid or help your work. So that is something that should be there. If you have that skill or hobby, by all means, put it there. But if you don't have it, or if it's not going to match the real job that you're trying to apply, might as well not have it in the first place. Right? So moving forward, organizations, extracurricular activities, and other societies that you might have had. South Kedana Society, Toastmasters, Rotaract Club, Lion or Leo Club, whether you were the school captain in the rugger team. Also organizations or sports. If you're straight away after school, you have a lot of sports that you usually try to put into the CV in an entry-level job. Those come after the education section, right? First, we have work experience, education, we have skills, then comes to, hobbies. Hobbies also goes below the extracurricular activities. So extracurricular activities or sports, now we are in the back end of the CV, that it's nice to have features. It's not must-have features in the CV now. Okay. Then volunteer work, again, something very optional if you're applying for, let's say, volunteer organization, World Vision, right? If you're applying for World Vision or any volunteer organization, if you have prior volunteer work experience, by all means add it now, because this will give you a better chance of getting into that position in that volunteer organization or social organization. But then again, if it's not adding value, might as well keep it out. Don't add it if it's not going to add value. Referees, of course, it's still quite important to have at least one referee. So when you're adding the referee, you have to have certain things in your mind. First, you need to put whether it's a Mr., Mrs., or a doctor, whatever the position of that person. Then the name, again, a two-piece name would be suffice. Jack Harrison, director of Top CV. Then usually we follow it up with the address or have the full name of the company. So if it's Dr. Gayatrika Kirivattuduwage, campus director, the position campus director. Where is she campus director? Edulink International Campus. Then you can have both email and phone number, because if you are putting someone as a reference, right, you have to have a mean of contacting that person as the recruiter. If you see, okay, this person is good, I need to get a reference from someone, you should have that listed how you're going to contact this referee, right? And always be mindful, if you're putting someone as a reference, always send the CV to him or her in advance and ask for their permission to put them into the CV, and make sure that the person that you put into the CV is updated on what you're doing currently, right? So some people I've seen putting lecturers or head of departments from their university time, and they have come out of university and now it's 10 years later, right? When it's 10 years later, that lecturer might not even remember this person, let alone know what he's doing currently. So if someone calls this lecturer and asks, hi, Dr. Prasanna, I'm calling you regarding Gayashini Fonseca, right? That person might not even remember who Gayashini Fonseca is, right? So if you're going to put someone as a referee, please make sure you notify that person and make sure that you have at least sent a CV and told, I'm trying to apply for this position at this company, so that if someone calls this person, they will at least have in the back of their mind that you have applied for such a position, right? Okay, let's move forward. Okay, so what do you think? Do you need a picture or do you not need a picture? I want an answer from you. What do you think? Is it good to have a picture or do you not need a picture?
Need a picture, sir.
Need a picture. Tharindi? Sanju?
Need a picture.
Need a picture.
Yeah.
Need a picture. All right. So 3 out of 3 says need a picture. Technically, right? I'm saying technically, you don't need to have a picture. Technically, you don't need to have a picture. But now, as I said, CV writing is also evolving. 10 years back, it was mentioned specifically, don't put a picture. But nowadays, it has become a norm, or it has become important to have a picture. Even myself, right? If I get CVs, I would first look at, the picture, right? To see, because I'm working with marketers, right? Having a pleasant impression on the other person is quite important in sales and marketing, right? So I would first look at the picture. Then I would look at, what they have done. So in today's context, having a picture is good compared to 5-10 years back where they said don't have a picture. Since I'm here, I want to highlight something that I missed earlier. Here you can see this person has put his full birthday here. So that is something that you don't need to do in today's context. You don't need to put your full birthday, as in, you don't need to put your birth year. If you want, you can put May 19 or February 6. That is enough. But then again, you're not supposed to put, your birthday into the CV. Now the question is, so since you all said, you need a picture, unanimously said, you need a picture, you need a picture, you need a picture. Right? So what is the picture that you should have? Right? I'm going to show you some pictures of a person. Tell me which picture do you think should go into the CV? Right? Can you see?
Yes, sir.
All right. You see an actor?
Right, last one.
calendar again, eh? Right. Okay. So what do you think would be good to go into a CV?
The last one.
Last one is this one, right?
Yeah.
So why can't I put this one?
It's
Why
good for
can't?
Facebook.
Huh?
It's good for Facebook.
It's good for Facebook, but not for a CV. It's good if I'm, applying for what? To be a gang member, right? කාගේද වම්බොට්ටගේ සෙට් එකට යන්න ඇප්ලිකේෂන් එකක් එහෙම දානවා නම් පච්චයක් දාලා right මල් මාලයක් දාලා මල් මොනවද කියන්නේ බෝල ඇට මාලයක් දාලා හොඳයි if I am applying for a what you call gang, right? This one හොඳයි මොකද්ද බොන්න යනවා නම් බොන්න යන සංගමයක් තියෙනවා නම් ඒකට ඒක හොඳයි, right? Then this one is also good, and this one is the one that I currently have on my CV. So these two are good, but this one is good if I'm applying for some, let's say, event kind of placement. This one is good for that, right? Obviously this one is not good for anything. This one probably good if applying for a model or something like that. So make sure the pictures that you select have good context and are relevant to the position that you're applying. All right, so the next thing is, how long should your CV be? Okay, I was talking about a one-page CV, but then again, how long should a CV be? Any answers?
2 pages.
How many?
2 pages.
2 pages. Okay. Any other answers?
One page.
1 page. 1 page and 2 page. 1 page and 2 pages. Okay. Okay, I was trying to find this. Yep. Okay. So there has been a research done, and that research has found the optimal length of a CV should be from 475 words to 600 words. Optimal, right? What is optimal? That means the best size, or the best size of a CV should be 475 to 600 words, right? How can you search it is when you write the CV in Word, you can check the word count, okay? Then again, depending on the job title that you apply for, that might change a bit. Why I say this is, if you are just after A-levels or just after school, or you're going for an entry-level job, right? The maximum real estate or the maximum number of pages you will get would be 2 pages. Don't have it longer than 2 pages if you're right after, A levels or applying for the first job. First few jobs, the maximum length you should have it is 2 pages, because you will have a lot of other qualifications coming in. What do you mean other qualifications are? Whether you were, a scout, whether you were the sports captain, cricket captain, all these things come into your first few job resumes, right? Then if you have 1 to 2 years experience also, then again, it's good to have a 1 to 2 page CV. 1 to 2 page if you're having 1 to 2 years of experience. Then of course you get into bit more higher experience levels, 5-10 years, or whether you're going into a head of a department. Then again, when you have a lot of experience, you tend to focus on the last job that you were working on, or the last couple of jobs. If you, let me share my screen, right? So you can see in my CV, now that I have close to 8 years experience, I'm focusing only on what? The last 4 jobs that I have done. Okay. And I managed to get it into 1 page as well. Right. So I'm talking about my experience from 2014 up to 2021, and in just 1 page, right? So what are these special jobs or positions? Let's say you are applying for a lecturer position, okay, or a very specialized position. You obviously have to talk about all the special things you have done in your past, education wise, or your last roles or positions. So that is something different, right? That is a special scenario. That's why they say up to 3 to 5 pages in special cases. But if not, most cases 1 to 2 pages, or probably nowadays we talk about 1 page CVs even more. So most of the time 1 page or a 1 to 2 page CV is enough. But if you are applying for something very specific, you can go a bit more in your experience, right? And let's look at what's next. Okay, so these are some of the CVs that I have received when, I was looking for executives and all, right? I have, taken small details of these things, because these are some examples of bad CVs, how and what not to do. Right? Whenever you write a CV, make sure you check your spellings, because there's no worse feeling than having, seeing a badly spelled, or, having spelling mistakes in a CV that you send out, right? Can you see this, or shall I make it a bit larger? All right, hopefully you can see it now. Okay, so this person had sent me a CV, and he's saying he's trying to say he has professional qualifications, right? He's trying to say he has professional qualifications, but the thing is, he has spelled professional wrong. In his CV, he has spelled professional wrong. So would I, be in a hurry to hire this person. He might have good, other grades and all. But if he didn't take 2 seconds of his time, once he had, finished the CV to check the spellings, I wouldn't, be very happy to hire such a person. Okay. So the next person here, you can have a very nice picture also. But the thing is, if you are going to put your work experience and if you have it wrong, if you see it here, if you see here, right, she's saying she has worked from 2019 December to 2019 April. How can someone work from 2019 December to 2019 April? I don't know. It's, going backward. It probably should have been 2000 April to 2019 December or 2019 December to 2020 April. I don't know. Right? But then again, it is wrong. Here, this same person, the CV is not 2 pages, not even 1 page, but it is 1 page and 2 lines. So there is a huge empty space here. So either he has to, somehow crunch these and put these two in to the single page and make it a single page CV, or he has to add certain things to the second page to make it a 2-page CV. He has to do either of the two. You can't send a 1 page or a 1.5 page CV. This is not the only 1.5 page CV I have received. I have received few 1.5 page CVs. So these are things that, make or break your hiring decision, right? People look at these things. People look at, whether you have made a spelling mistake. Only thing is, every word software, right, has one thing in common. What is that? Whenever you do something in Microsoft Word or Excel or, your PowerPoint, everything has this spellings check, right? So once you create your CV on probably on Word, that's the main thing that you use, right? So once you create it, by all means go and, hit the spell check and get it, checked for spelling. Otherwise, when you send it out, it's going to have a bad mark. And the biggest problem is no one is going to contact you back and say, you have spelled professional wrong. You have a spelling mistake. You have some, mistake in the work experience. No one is going to contact you back. You will be sending, pretty much the same CV over and over again to different employers, hoping that they will pick you, but you'll be, knocked out because you've been sending wrong CVs. Okay. All right. So with that, we are coming to the end of pretty much how to write a CV. Any questions from your end before I go into a certain, trick or, a template site where you can use to create CVs? Tharindu has gone, is she? Tharindu is here, okay. Any questions from your end?
No, sir.
All right. So, shall we look at Tharindu's and forgot the name, Gayashini's CVs. They sent me their CVs. So one thing here that you have to notice, okay. So these are the 2 CVs that these 2 have sent me. Sanju, you didn't send me something, but it's not there because you didn't send it. But now I want you to focus. You can see the screen, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So here you have to see and you have to notice something. Okay. This is Gayani's CV. This is Tharindu's CV. Yes, it's, the CV is good, but how you name it is also important. Why is that? Because when you attach this to an email, the person who receives the email will also see how you have named it. Usually people name it like this: CV, resume, or CV1, new CV, CV1, 2, 3, 4, right? ABCD. They didn't take the time to name it appropriately. This is how you name it appropriately. You have your name. You could say CV of or resume of, that is up to you. But you can just say, without even saying resume or CV, you can say your name, Achinta Jayasekar. What's the position that you are applying for? It has to be catered directly for the position as well as the employer that you are looking for. Achinta Jayasekara for head of marketing at Edulink. Right? So when that CV is received by the other person, the recruiter, when he opens the email, he can see resume of Achinta Jayasekara for head of marketing at Edulink. Right? So the person who's at Edulink who's going to open this mail will see, so this person has taken that time to cater and to at least rename this CV for us. Right? That's why I said it is important that you write every CV from, you don't need to build everything from scratch, but you have to tweak it a bit, do minor changes. So this is one of the major changes that you need to do. You have to show the employer that you took that time and the energy and the effort to have something specially made for this employer. This would give some bonus marks to you when it comes to selecting a person. All right. So first CV that I got was from Tharindu. So let's look at what Tharindu has done. Okay. This is not to criticize because this was sent before today. Right. So she said we need a picture, but she didn't put a picture. That is something else, right? So let's see what she has put. She has put a name. She has put the full name in initials. So Tharindu, let's put a two-piece name like we discussed. And you have put your full address as well. Let's not put that. Mobile number is good. The format is also good. But if I were you, I would do it in a way that people would see it, remembering it easy. So if it's a nice number, you can show that, how it is nice. Or else you can put +94, which is the country code of Sri Lanka. Okay. So you can put it like this also. That is up to you how you put the phone number. Email, there's there. That's good. Career objective, as we discussed, we don't need to have a career objective, but then again, you're fresh out of what? You're fresh out of school. So this could, because you don't have any distinguishable qualities, it's good to have something like this, but then again, try to add something of your own into this objective. You don't have work experience, so obviously your education qualifications will come to the top. Okay. So you did drama at school.
Yes, sir.
What dramas did you act in? Maname?
Kundan drama. Dollar House. I was acting.
Acting in? I didn't hear you. All right. So professional qualifications and other qualifications, it's good. Following English course and all these things are good. As I said, when you are starting out, you will have a lot of extracurricular activities, but when you go up the ladder, you need to take these things out one by one. Okay. So personal details, don't need date of birth, address, of course. You don't need civil status. Now it's not a huge thing. You don't need to put it. I don't put it in my CVs as well. Nationality you don't need, but if it's something that's you're trying to apply for some place outside Sri Lanka, you might need, but then again you don't need. Pretty much this personal details part you can put into the contact details and save some space. Non-related referees, okay. Having one is enough. You don't need, if you have space, put two, but then again, having one is enough, right? The details of that person is there. That's good, right? Now you don't usually have this part. I hereby, mention or test that, the above details are correct. This was a part that we used to have when we sent out physical CVs where we put the date and sign itself. But nowadays we send emails out. So we are not putting this and date and signature. We don't put. Now what has happened because of this part, Tharindu, your CV has gone to 3 pages, right? So we can get this down to probably 2 pages very nicely, okay? So let's look at what Darshini has done. Your CV is good, don't think your CV is bad. Your CV is good. There are a lot of good points because now if you see this, it's not black and white. Having a black and white CV is something that I personally don't like, because you'll see, as I said, see about 250 CVs, you have to do something that's going to make your CV stand out from the crowd. So having a colorful CV is good, as long as it's not colorful like the rainbow. So having 7-8 colors or flashy colors, don't have it. Have something very plain colors, good color combinations. See, these are very good color combinations that can be used, right? So let's look at what Gayashini has sent us. Okay, so she has started with her education qualifications. The personal details she has put is very nice. It's not too much. Probably take out the full address and have just Uspatakayava, and probably have a nice picture of yourself to the left or right. Vision, if it's the first job, obviously it's okay to have a vision, but if you're going up, Gayashini, you will have to have something that is, describing you as a person that the employer will need to see matching to that position that is available. Education qualifications, okay. All right. If you're not going to put, what are the results, you don't need to put the index number anyways, right? So you don't need to put index numbers. Probably have the results that you have. Professional qualifications, all right, good, very good, right? Okay, here, so you have one type of bullet point here, Gayashini. right? Then you have changed it to another here. So try to have one type of bullets in your what you call CV. Don't have it 2 or 3. Okay. So these other details you might not need to have in the CV. The way that you have put your referees is very good. Put them side by side so you save a bit of space. Then you said you are working somewhere, but it is not mentioned here. I would put it before education qualifications if you are applying for a work related job. Okay.
So it is on the second page.
Second page, professional extracurricular. Why don't I see? Here, professional experience. Okay. PT Auto Enterprises, Manisha's thing, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're still there?
Yes.
Okay, good. How is she as a boss? I know her as a student at Edulink.
Good, sir.
Good. Okay. So I would take this Kashini and put it up here. All right. And because you're doing a bit of marketing, I would suggest you to showcase how you as a here is good. You see a good communicator, very fast learner with ability to individual, right? So this is you. Okay, try to put something related to marketing here. Okay. And I like how you have colored it. It's not black and white. So that is good. All right. So I'm going to give you a secret. What is the secret? The secret is how you can create your own CV with CV templates. Right. Okay. So if you go to Google, search on Google, there are many templates or template sites. So this is some template that I found that is good. Right. So this is novoresume.com. I'm going to put that into the chat. Okay. So this site allows you, if you sign in to their site, you can create a one-page CV free of charge. Right. So that is going to be your homework. Go to this site, or you can go to the site, or you don't need to go to the site. You can open Word and create a CV as well. But create a CV based on today's exercises and today's lesson, and I want you to apply, okay, based on a marketing executive's position. All right. Assume there is a marketing executive vacancy. Okay. So I want you to apply for a position of a marketing executive. All right. Okay. When you come next week, next Monday, I will want you to apply for a marketing executive position at Edulink. Okay, let me see if I can find an advertisement for this. Okay. Found one that is not what you call marketing executive, but there's a marketing intern position, right? So what I'll do is I'll share that. I want you to assume you're going to apply for this position. Okay, I've sent a picture on the chat. Did you receive it? Did you receive it?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Tharindu? Tharindu? Did you get it? Malita? All right. So there's a marketing intern vacancy there that is there in the advert. Okay. So I want you to assume you will be applying for that and make a CV for that position. That would be your homework for Monday. So when you come on Monday, you'll have to send it before Monday, but then again, you will have to have it by Monday. Okay. On Monday, we will discuss interview skills, and on next Thursday, we can have the mock interview. All right.
Yeah, okay, sir.
All right. So is there any questions? Are there any questions? Sorry.
No, sir.
Tharindi, Sanju, Malita, any questions?
No, sir.
All right.
No,
So
sir.
make note of this site. Okay. There you can download a one-page CV. You can't download a two-page CV without having a paying account. Don't create a paying account. Okay. Because you will not create CVs every month. So don't use money to do it. Try to create a one-page CV. The software, it's a web-based, designer, or else you can create a CV from Word based on the information and the techniques that I've told you. Okay. So it's okay to add a bit of, what you call lies about experience, because, Sanju and Tharindu, they don't have any working experience. You can assume you have some working experience and you can put some there as well. All right.
Yes, okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
All right. So if there are no questions, shall we wind up?
Yeah, okay.
All right. Was today's lesson helpful for you guys?
Yes, sir.
Tharindu? Yeah. Sorry, Sanju. It was not helpful for them, guys. You see, you are the only one, who's looking to get out of Bopiti Auto Springs.
Sir, I can't hear you.
You are the only one who's looking to apply for new jobs. Sanju and Tharindi are not going to apply for jobs. That's why they don't find it useful. All right. So if that's the case, shall we wind up?
Okay, sir.
All right. Good night.
Good night,
Stay
sir.
safe.
Thank you. Thank you.